Now it's time to be kind yet sad
Hmm.
and live on a farm.
Well, I try to be two of those things. Two out of three ain't bad.
You like to be kind and yet.
Yes?
There you go. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I was thinking kind and sad, but not living on a farm, but I'll take kind and yet as well.
Got it.
Yay.
Hello,
Nailed it.
welcome. Welcome to this week's episode of Jared and Now Watch Inuyasha. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello.
We are discussing season 2, episode number 4, episode 31 of Inuyasha, entitled Jinenji, kind yet sad.
The countdown to the end of the bad generic opening is coming.
That's what they want you to think.
Mm.
Hmm.
I told you before we started this episode that I really like this episode.
Yes, you did.
So I wanted to give the people some context of that. That I really like this episode.
Hey, Al,
Yeah,
do you really like this episode?
I do. Amazing, right?
I know, very shocking.
So shocking.
So yes, we begin this episode off the heels of the battle with Naraku. Sango's getting rested up because she's still injured. Kirara is still messed up from the miasma. So they're like, hey, we need to figure out how to fix old Kirara here. Miyoga's like, yeah, we had you lowered in Inuyasha. We could find some herbs and we could create an antidote and heal Kirara from this sickness that is afflicting.
They also dunk on Myoga a lot.
And I was like, Myoga, you don't do anything. Is this the first time you've helped us? And he's like, what do you mean? I am always helping Lord Inuyasha over here.
Kagome's like, oh yeah, you were helpful when uh
That one time,
uh
when you did the thing. They're like, oh boy.
get
Oh
wrecked,
boy.
Myoga.
So Sango's going to be left in the care of Moroku. And she's like, oh no, this is bad. But
Yep.
Shippo's also there to help make sure nothing bad happens.
And I loved it, like Moroga's there. I was like, yes, I'm gonna make sure that everything's fine. I'm gonna take care of you. She like pulls the like dress that she has up a bit and was like, I think it's safer outside. And she was like, no worries, that's why I'm here. Kagome left me too.
It's true. And then we see a lady get eaten.
Yes.
And then we see Kagome and Inuyasha on a bike. Just
And
chilling.
just chilling. At one
Inuyasha,
point, Inuyasha gets bonked off.
he is bonked off. But the whole time he's also like, I could have just went there by myself. Like, we don't need to ride the bike. She's like, but you would miss everything you're seeing and everything. You're missing the fun. He's like,
Don't you like spending time with me?
what do you mean? So yeah, they ride the bike, and then eventually Inuyasha just pushes the bike because he's mad
After he gets bonked off.
after he gets bonked off, and then they run into some villagers who are carrying out a body. They're talking about a demon who ate it, flesh-eating demons. And Inuyasha's like, "What's about a demon?" And they're like, oh, "You're also a demon." But Kagome's like, "He's not a demon. Demon. It's fine." They're like, "Ah." And they get told about Jinenji, who's supposed to be the flesh-eating monster, who's also a demon. So Inuyasha's like, "I'm gonna go fight him," because Jinenji's out working the fields and he's a big boy.
He's a
And
big
Inuyasha
boy.
goes to fight him, and Jinenji's like, "Huh?" And then the villagers start throwing rocks at him, and he gets real sad and starts crying and runs away. And then Jinenji's mom comes out and, with a wooden log and bonks Inuyasha over the head, and he's just like, "What did I do?
Bonk.
What happened? Why? Why?"
I think we're missing part of the story here.
So Inuyasha and Kagome go to their house, and Jinenji's mom basically tells a story about how Jinenji is also a half demon, but he's not a cute half demon like Inuyasha. He's the other side.
And Kagome's like, yeah, he is cute. Bonk, bonk, like pulling on his ear. If you're like
I
in
feel
the
like
dogs,
if
that
you're in the
is.
dogs. So yeah, that's how they learn about that.
And she like goes into this like story about her like super hot demon husband after she twisted her ankle. Gets all blushy and was like, oh man, he was a hottie. The things I would have done to that man.
And the two of them are like, wait, you're the human half?
Yeah, you're the one that. Okay.
What do you mean? Jinenji gives him an antidote. He's like, here you go. This will help your friend. They're like, hey, well, thanks. And they go to leave, and Kagome's like, hey, should we stay here and figure this out? And Yasha's like, So they head back to the village, and like the villagers are gathering a bunch of weapons to go fight Jinenji, and Inuyasha's like, look at you cowards.
You babies.
Babies. So Kagome's like, I'm gonna go stay with them, and if you don't like that, deal with it. If they come and kill me, Inuyasha, you have to avenge me. He's like, wait, what do you mean I gotta avenge you? He's like, what do you mean you're not gonna avenge me? He's like, all right, I guess I'll avenge you. Sorry.
I'll avenge you. Jeez, God.
Jeez. Inuyasha goes around and is sneaky. He's
Sniff,
like,
sniff, sniff.
trying to find the demon and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Kagome helps Jinenji with farm work, and Jinenji gets very shy and blushy.
He's like, oh man.
What's it mean to be happy? Is this happiness?
She's not screaming.
Only for worms.
Yeah, and I like that his mom's like, oh man, the girl's scared of worms, but not Jinenji. Interesting.
Inuyasha finds like where the flesh-eating demons are supposed to be, and falls down a big hole and finds some eggs, and is like, uh-oh, this is bad.
They're gonna go try to teach them how to eat.
Mm-hmm. The villagers come at night to Jinenji's house and try and fight him, and Kagome's like, no! But then they still they burn down the house because they're still mad and dumb.
Yep.
But then here comes the giant flesh-eating demon, and it's creepy crawler babies, and are like, and they're like, no,
we're being attacked.
Inuyasha comes to the scene to fight off the babies. Kagome tries to fight off the big one and fails and gets knocked out. And then Jinenji's like, I will defend you. Punches a hole through it, but then gets choked out. He's like, and Kagome's like, Inuyasha, you gotta help him. But his mom's like, no, he's gotta find the strength to fight himself. And then Inuyasha's like, yeah, that's pretty true.
Makes sense.
And Kagome's like, what? So, but Jinenji's able to gather the strength to fight and beats up the demon by punching its head into his smithereens, essentially.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. And then the villagers are like, we're sorry. And Jinenji's like, here's some herbs. You know, you all look like you got beat up. It's cool. And then the villagers go help Jinenji rebuild his house and everything and farm the land and all that.
They accept him.
And then Kagome and Inuyasha right back, and Kagome's like, were you like that as well? And Inuyasha's like, no. I didn't let people see how I was emotional and stuff.
Well, the one part is, I don't remember it was this part, it was earlier on, but he was like, yeah, like this is how it is, like when you're getting blamed for everything or like looked at terribly, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, wonder if he's talking about himself.
No, what do you mean? I've just heard about that before.
So yeah, at the end here, she's like, so he's been hurting because he is a half demon too.
But he's like, I'm not a half demon, but I'm also not a human. I'm just me.
But he also, loves his friends.
It's true. The friends we made along the way.
It's true. I also like the Jinenji's at one point. It's like, I'm talking to a girl.
Ooh.
like, ooh, Jinenji.
But that's basically how we end our episode.
I really like this episode. It's so like weird slice of lifey in terms of the Inuyasha lore verse, I guess. But you get some insight into like how characters are treated. You get some insight into like how being a half demon works. But you get this one character, Jinenji, who is just like a genuinely good dude who's terrifying. And like you actually see the villagers like stop being bags at one point. And like all it takes is somebody actually being nice to him. Wow, amazing. And he actually like gets to feel some form of happiness at one point, which is nice. It made me happy. I like this episode.
True.
Jinenji's
It also
a good
is
dude.
It was also interesting watching this episode coming off of the heels of finishing up Lost Judgment
Ah,
because it was, very similar themes here.
yeah. Makes
So that was
sense.
something. Let's talk about notes and differences from the manga real quick.
Okay.
Songo is shown to be afraid of having Baroku watch over her when she's recovering. However, she seems to have forgotten that he acts kindly and non-perverted back when she was recovering from her injuries last time. She was caught in one of Naraku's traps, except he touched her butt.
He did touch her butt.
So, not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Inuyasha is shown to have found inner peace thanks to all the friends he's made, no longer caring where his place in the worlds of demons and humans is.
Yeah, well, that's not going to last. And also, like, it's
Of
about to
course not.
get super thrown off because we have somebody else coming back soon.
Oh no.
Yay.
Kagome is shown not to care about how someone looks, only being concerned about what's in one's heart. It's thanks to this that she helped Jinenji gain confidence.
Have
Have
confidence.
confidence. Kagome's interactions with Jinenji also help her realize what life was like for Inuyasha growing up as a half-demon. There you go.
Except for the looks were a little different.
Yes. Differences from the manga.
The manga.
Inuyasha and Shippo, speaking of Kirara's reliability over Myoga, is an anime exclusive.
Nice.
When Jinenji gives Kagome the herbs to treat Kirara, he gives them to her outside in the fields in the manga. In the anime, he hands them to her in her hut, or in his hut, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And in the manga, the man-eating yokai can speak, whereas the anime only has to make guttural noises.
Bleh.
I'm gonna eat you.
It's got like those weird like tentacle things for a mouth.
It's like it's got like weird worms coming out of its mouth.
Yeah, basically.
Gross.
Yucky.
Well, that's gonna
Yucky.
do it for this episode. Next time, we will be discussing Season 2, Episode number 5, or Episode 32, called Kikyo and Inuyasha Into the Miasma.
Mm-hmm.
What could possibly be happening there?
What could possibly happen here?
Nothing.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Totally fine.
So yes, we will discuss that next time. But for now, if you would like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. And also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you would like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup, and you can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, a critical analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, and Hot Tubs and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. So join us next time when we dive deep into the miasma.
And 3 more episodes until we change the awful opening.
What a shame.
Rip.